I just made a major announcement with Jimmy Akin. Check the description.
My question is, why don't we have more videotaped evidence of demonic possession? I know there's a privacy concern, but it seems that could be addressed with the subject's permission to be recorded, as was presumably the case when Father Amorth exorcism was videotaped.
Yeah, there is some debate on whether or not that exorcism by Father Amorth was actually given permission or not. I mean, I've seen video of that, and the quality is not very good. I will say that, at least from a Catholic perspective, the reason the church does not permit them to be recorded is to protect the identity of the person. What the person does afterwards is certainly up to them. It's the same way like the sacrament of confession or somebody confessing their sins. That's not something that's made public, but it's to protect the identity of the person. And even in today's world of technology, I mean, people would say, well, that's rather convenient then, because if we have these videotaped evidence, it would bring clarity. But it is also true that people can manipulate videotapes and whatnot to fit whatever agenda they might have. But ultimately, it just comes down to, at least in my perspective, a question of faith. You know, does one really believe in the reality of evil spirits or not? And then if you're a person of faith, then believing is seeing. If you're more of a scientific mind, you might say, well, seeing is believing. But I think even if there were videotapes, I think there would still be people that would doubt their credibility.
I mean, I think it would. Yeah, there would be like, no matter what video evidence you have, there would be some hardcore skeptics that would, just disbelieve no matter what evidence they come across. But I think for some people, like me, for example, if it would increase my confidence that demonic possession is like real nowadays. Me, I'm kind of like, I'm a quasi skeptic. I don't firmly believe it or firmly disbelieve it either way. But thanks for your answer.
Yeah, I would say that there may be other faith traditions that may permit that, but at least from a Catholic perspective, that's not something that's permitted. But there may be someone of another Christian faith tradition that would do that. The church always wants to protect and safeguard the identity of the person so that they don't really become some type of a spectacle. You know that you look at the movie The Exorcist. That was based on a 1949 case of exorcism of a young boy from Mount Rainier, Maryland. And the exorcism was actually performed in St. Louis, Missouri. That man who was possessed, throughout his life, he could have made millions of dollars. There was a lot of people that went to him and wanted to hear his story and whatnot. And he always would decline any of that. He just said that that's a part of my life that he never wanted to talk about again. He believed that once the demons were cast out, he didn't want to try to continue to address it or make a spectacle of himself or anything like that. So again, the church always wants to protect and safeguard. The church is very clear on what's permitted and what's not permitted. And I would suggest that being disobedient to the authority of the church and then trying to fight the devil is a pretty bad combination, because the devil himself was disobedient to God. He would thrive on that. And I don't think that disobedience would be a way to address the devil and to attack him, if you will, through an exorcism.